Okay, so to fit the top tenon to the mortise, this tenon should slide into there already. All we need to do is remove this section here to put the haunch on. So check the dimensions of your mortise, transfer that to your tenon. So if you've marked this correctly, it should be on the outside corner of the door. That's the bit you're removing. If that's not on the outside corner, something's wrong. Okay, so now that we know that the tenon fits in there, we've cut the haunch off, that goes in there okay. We need to make some space for the wedges, okay? There's different alternatives for wedging. Traditionally, you would mark the outside of each mortise. So this is the wedge space marked on either side of the tenon, an extra 3mm. We'll transfer these lines onto the end and then we'll just chop them down inside the mortise. Okay, so another alternative to adding wedge space either side of a tenon to wedge it in place is to put a saw cut down the centre, or maybe 2/3 and 1/3 if it's a wide one, and then you can leave that as your wedge space. The idea of that being that when that tenon goes into that mortise, rather than the wedges clamping it in, the wedge will go down the centre and it'll make that tenon a dovetail shape. So that will resist movement. The bottom rail has an overload bolt on the back side. Okay, so again, we need to cut the haunches out for this, and then we're going to need to drop that shoulder down to this quirt level and miter that mould into that mould, or we could do a pocket scribe. I think we might do one of each. So again, the best place to mark them from is the mortise there. The haunches are marked out now for the bottom rail. A double check before you cut is that you've got waste at the bottom corner of your door, then a tenon, then waste, then a tenon. That should match your door, okay, and it should match the markings out on your drawing. So if that matches your drawing, everything looks good. It's common to cut the wrong parts out of these, so just do a double check before you cut it. And then we need to remove the remainder of the waste out of there with a coping saw. Mark number 2 out the same way. So make sure that these waste match your drawing, okay? On this side we're going to do a pocket scribe. So rather than mitering it, we're going to scribe this mould over that mould. So same procedure. Mark the back edge of the door. Mark where the moulds meet each other, which is there. Okay, but this time, because we're going to scribe that one over this one, I'm just going to knock that back about 3 mil, just to allow this mould to run underneath the scribe. Okay, so to do the pocket scribe on this bottom rail, put your template on the mould so that your chisel touches that quirk there. So this must be level with that tiny quirk. That is the miter point, and that will give you the line for your scribe. Okay, hold the chisel flat on there, put yourself a little mark in there, so hold that on there,